everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Slappin Kpop podcast. I'm Sammi, and today I have Kayla.
Hello.
And Dan for the first time in a while.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yay!
Yay.
And we are gonna do the long-awaited, I don't know,
The
2021 boy group
mid-year.
introduction.
Oh, mid
Mid-year.
2021 boy group debut episode. Hooray.
This is such a letdown from last year. I'm so upset.
We had sort of talked about this when we did the 2020 boy group update, that the reason we were doing that update was because we were very much disappointed with how the debuts were going this year. So
we had to talk about better groups first.
we did.
Yeah.
And
not good.
overall, we have 12.
We do.
We managed to get 12 that we even had something to say about. Because there have been more. We just didn't care.
Yeah, and we are really down in the weeds for some of these groups too.
Oh yeah.
But before the last possible day that we made the cutoff for this video,
which was the end of June, which is halfway
June 30th,
through
yes.
June 30th.
We had to go way down in the weeds to find anything good before that. So
Oh yeah, no, this would be without June 30th, this episode I would not even want. I
don't think it would have been worth talking about.
Yeah, the
It's
episode
barely
would have
worth
been
talking about.
very bad.
So is this in alphabetical order?
No, it's in debut. It's
Chronological
in
order?
debut order.
Yeah, chronological order.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about 12 boy group debuts of this year, and if you want girl group debuts, don't come here.
Yeah.
Because
I
those haven't been that good either.
in
But
a
that's
weird
really
way,
just-
my favorite debut of the year probably has been a girl group, but because I think
really liked Purple Kiss.
I like Purple Kiss a lot, and they're probably my favorite debut of the
Purple
year.
Kiss is top 3 for me. I
Yeah.
like 2 of these groups.
I think I like Purple Kiss more on their second album. I did not really care for this one so much. I didn't hate it, but
Purple
I didn't
Kiss
like
has been a great debut. Lightsum was good. That's all I got.
That's all we got for girl groups right now. So, and Lightsum has one song, so I can't even say that much about them. So,
yeah, it was a decent song.
It was
and
good.
That puts them above a lot of other.
it was
people.
a right out of 2015 song too. So,
And if you want a year of great debuts, go listen to last week's episode of us just talking about great 2015.
yes,
songs.
Yes, that was a good
That's an iconic year.
Mm-hmm.
But shall we start with the first group that
I guess we should.
that debuted this year?
Yep.
Yes. The first group debuting in technically January 11th, it was our beloved T1419, or Teenager 1419, from MLD Entertainment. They're a 9-member group, and they had a pre-debut song with Dracula, and then they had Exit as well.
And what was their debut song title, Dan?
I avoid Azur Bala Bala Ta Ta Ta. That's that song. Whereas I appreciate it's not really pronounceable. Neither is the group name.
I don't think it's a word at all.
It's not. It's just a noise, and it's not a really easy to remember. What was that debut of that? Oh yeah, that T Numbers group.
We also resort to calling them T Numbers a lot because their name is so ridiculous.
What number or way it goes. I just remember there's a lot of them, so I just was like.
But also, when I have to say it, I resort to saying T1419.
Yes.
It should be. Is it T1419?
I have never heard them introduce themselves, so I have no idea how you're supposed to say it.
Now that I see that it's supposed to represent Teenager 1419, I'm like, have I also been saying it wrong the few times I've had to say it?
I think it might be T1419.
1419?
That sounds a lot easier to say, and it rolls off the tongue a lot better.
Either way, I don't know if I would say rolls
name.
off the tongue. I don't know if I would say rolls off the tongue.
I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, because when you come up with a name like that...
this is not their fault. This is not their fault. This is MLD not knowing how to name a group.
No, not at all.
And their fandom named it?
So, I even have it highlighted, because I is Edelweiss, which I only know that as the song from The Sound of Music.
That's what I told.
Yes, that's what that is.
I literally looked it up and saying, is it anything else? I guess it's also a flower. But I only know it as the song.
Well, that's
the song from Sound of Music.
That's what the song is
about.
Referencing. Yeah.
So that's why I'm like,
flower.
Okay, I guess that makes more sense. But it's still weird. I don't
understand why this group, if you've listened to their debut song or their pre-debut song or their new song, why the fuck are we referencing a flower or The Sound of Music?
Yeah.
That does not seem correct.
No, it doesn't. They're very young, hence the name 14 or 19. They are stuck in this loop now of being the teenager group after like there was Teen Top and now they're still Super Junior and they're still
Stray Kids. They're still Stray Kids.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
Golden Child.
You've
Generation.
decided to stick with this young concept. You won't be young forever.
No, but like that hasn't. Again, if Super Junior can as an adult group of almost 40, they're closer to 40 than they are to anything else. If they're still fine, I feel like that. Yeah, you'll get the joke forever. But,
I also want to talk about this
not gonna impede you.
This pre-debut song that they had. It came out last year, this pre-debut song, where they were all in, like, Halloween horror makeup.
Oh,
and we did not see their face. We're not allowed to see their faces. And how pre-debut, they all were a number.
Can we also talk about how we were genuinely, like, oh my god.
I was like, are they not gonna have names?
There was a non-zero chance that they were just not gonna have names for their entire career, and I was nervous.
It was very, very... I was sad for them. That it was like, is this how we're gonna run this group? They're gonna all be numbers and we can't see their faces at all?
This is a true industry at its finest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really when I'm like, oh, K-pop has gone too far.
It's gone too
far. It's gone too far. If this group
numbers.
of boys... If this group of boys has an identification number, which is always used as the dystopian idea for the K-pop video, like, why are we doing this?
No.
But at least they got names.
They have names. They have faces now.
Yeah, I think we need to avoid talking about our opinions up to this point, which is that we're not particularly big fans.
No. So this is a problem I have with a lot of the groups that debuted this year, is I think they were very unprepared for debut. Several other groups on this list, I think, like, they are not polished enough and need more training. They're very much one of them. Some of them are like they look like 12 years old, a couple of them, and I know I think they got to be 14 through 19 because that's the group anyway. Yeah. But like, they just don't seem like they were ready. Yeah.
It seems like, again, I think we said this last year, too, with a lot of the if you only have one song, that it kind of seems like you needed a little bit more time. This year, I think it's a little bit worse.
It's worse, yeah.
Mainly just because, at least last year, I think we had bigger companies. And, like, in a bigger company, like, sure, you might have the same amount of training as a smaller company, but that training is a little different.
But definitely a lot more planned debut time and stuff like, all right, you're next. This is honestly
maybe one of the bigger companies.
It is. And this is MLD Entertainment. Yeah.
When MLD Entertainment is one of the bigger, more recognizable companies that's debuted a group this year,
we're in a bad
place. It says a lot about the
place.
groups we got this year. And I think, I don't know, I feel like they're also trying to do that really loud type of music. A lot of these groups are going to do a very similar style of loud music.
Yeah.
With some, it's going to work a lot better than others.
Like, their second song is better than the first one, but still, like, not great for me. It's like, at least they're heading in a better direction. So, like, there's room there.
Being, like, a fine group. Like, I don't want to write anybody off.
No, I think we'll see what happens. I don't think we
can write anybody off, especially after we did that whole update on the boy groups from last year.
Oh, yes. Yes.
They go on roller coasters, especially now, like...
Especially, like, right after debut, where they have, like, a couple years that they're figuring themselves out as a group. They, like, really go on, like, a journey during that period.
Yeah. I can see... There's... The thing that I think they have is that they're so young. they're so young and they have so long. There's groups on here that are not that young that need to figure it out a little bit faster. Mm-hmm. This group, they have time. They're not even, none of them are 20 years old. They have time to figure it out.
Also, so I just looked up them introducing themselves as a group to see if I could get a thing on the pronunciation of how you're supposed to say the group. And they pronounce this group, like, way differently in Korean. Because it said, like, I don't think they've ever had to introduce themselves in English, because it sounds like it's weird. It's about 2 syllables in Korean. So, like...
Maybe it's the Korean
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I know that it's not 1419. Like, that's like, they're not saying 1419 and they're not saying 1419 in Korean. So I don't actually know.
Maybe it's the word for 1419.
I don't know. It might be. But it's like, it's way shorter when they introduce it than like the way that we're trying to pronounce it. Yeah.
That is
so weird. I don't know what it actually is. Listening to that just made me even more confused about it. So.
All right. I think that's all I have to say about them.
Yeah.
Yep. Moving on.
So our next group we have is Kingdom, not to be confused with the television
Kingdom Legendary War.
Kingdom Legendary War.
Kingdom the Drama.
Kingdom the Drama. Netflix
or
drama.
Kingdom or Road to Kingdom.
Yep.
Or a real kingdom.
I will say it's the most confusing thing in the world because Kingdom debut information came out the exact same day that they were announcing stuff for Kingdom Legendary War. So you'd go search Kingdom on Twitter and it was a disaster.
It was a lot, and it was so much. It was so difficult to keep up with because you just see teaser pictures announced for Kingdom, and I'm like,
Kingdom the group and Kingdom the show.
Yeah, I'm like, who? That's not SF9. Who is this?
And then it's like when we were talking about it, you have to like specify Kingdom the group or Kingdom the show.
Because I'm not going to sit here and say Kingdom Legendary War.
No, because that's
Kingdom the show or
Kingdom the group. Yes.
Or Kingdom the K-drama.
Yes.
Which we don't watch because
so that was less impactful in the Kingdom conversation that was happening in February. But they debuted on February 18th with their song Excalibur, and they're a 7-member boy group, and each one of them represents a different king in history, supposedly. And if you haven't picked up on the whole concept of Kingdom, is that they're all kings. Each one of them's a different king, and that's what we're doing. Their fandom name is Kingmaker, and they are from GF Entertainment, a company that is very new, has no other groups that I know of.
Genuinely be one of the cheapest fandom names I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Genuinely.
2 of the members of Kingdom were previously in the boy group Varsity. That would be Dan and Arthur. They were both in Varsity. Dan and Arthur, obviously stage names.
Obvious. Yeah, you know, also Dan with 2 N's.
Dan with 2 N's.
Yes. Also, when I'm looking at them right here, and when we say that they represent a king, they don't represent like a real life king. They represent a king of, king of cloud and king of sun.
Yep. And no, 100% not like, real.
Again, I want to put out that
here.
Louis or Louis, I don't know how they're. It should be Louis, because if you're going to go with King, that's a better stage name.
Yes, yes.
I don't doubt that it's probably Louis. King of Aesthetic.
Oh, love
King
that.
Louis. That's not a king that you want to,
King of Change.
Yeah.
French There's also like an Ivan in there, I think.
There is an Ivan.
Ooh, Ivan? The
yeah.
Ooh,
yeah, that's not great for him.
You have Dan, Arthur, Louis, Ivan, and then people who have just kept their real names.
Mm-hmm. They were just like, no, we're not doing this.
No. Everyone has a stage name. I'm wrong.
They do?
Even the ones that have a Korean name have a stage name. Some of them, yeah. Because Jahan, that's not his real name. Chiwoo, not his real name. None of them have.
That's the thing that's always confusing to me is when you have a Korean stage name that's not your name. Like, that's always a confusing concept for me.
Like, no one is going by their real name.
They often change their names to their stage names or...
Again, if you're popular enough.
Yeah.
I'm shocked Eunwoo hasn't.
Oh, yeah. And Rowoon.
But that's neither here nor there.
Anyway, they've also had a second comeback on July 1st with Karma. And so each comeback is supposedly supposed to center around a different one of the members, and they're like a different king of like, or something. And we'll see how long we can keep doing that
I
for.
want to know when we get to King of Aesthetic. Because I will judge the shit out of that.
King of the modern age.
Yes. I'm like,
King of change. Ooh.
How long can we keep this up for? Yeah.
Because they kind of went for, like, King Arthur, traditional European king for the first comeback.
Yeah, they had a lot of swords in their choreography and stuff. It was a cool idea. I just don't know how long they can keep the... I wouldn't say even gimmick, because it's really their whole concept.
It's the whole group. Like, that's what they are, yeah.
And also the fact of, like, you're looking at this and you're like, this can get problematic very quickly.
We can head into very dangerous territory. Yeah.
That is pretty dangerous.
Well, not that. Not even that. It's just, that would mean they're going back to, like, European King, which how different can you make that aesthetic than the one they already did for Excalibur? True. Like, if they want to go, like, really different...
If they're gonna go, like, weird cultures,
to get
like, it's...
full, like, French colonial makeup, like, the white faces and the beauty marks, like that. I want that in a K-pop concept.
Oof.
That would be their next one.
You want full Marie Antoinette?
Yes. Math. That would be a look.
I feel like we're gonna get, like, Atlantis or something, like, really stupid. We're definitely getting Atlantis, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you just said it.
That's the next one.
You've deemed
it's gonna be, I think I can see Greek Olympian gods.
Oh, we're gonna get Greek for sure.
Say Roman, yeah.
A Greek Roman,
something like that.
Yeah. I think people are estimating we're gonna go Norse mythology next. Is the next one,
fun.
Yeah.
Again, not very kingdoms and more gods, but that's like what you have to do.
You work with what you have.
You can't go too recent.
What you have.
Yeah.
I think a modern prince concept, especially if they do that, because if they're gonna do this, there's 7 of them. They have to stretch this out over a while. If they end on, like, a modern prince concept and they're all older, that would be really cute.
Yeah,
I think
that would be fun. It's a fun way to end it. Again, I want them to. They gotta put storybook Prince in there somewhere. I want full, like, Prince Charming,
like fairy tale.
Like fairy tale.
Yeah,
yes.
I could see
that would be their cute concept. That'll be the cute concept.
I feel like we talk about their concept the most because I think that's the most defining.
That's what that's like their most.
The music is
part of the group.
Defining thing. Music's fine.
Is fine. It's a little above average.
I see talent there. I think if they're given the song,
I think the production could do better. I feel like that's mostly it.
That's kind of what's letting them down.
I did listen to the July 1st one, Karma album, and there is one B-side on there where I was like, I could dig with this. It's a pretty. I think it was called Warning is the name of the song. I recommend that one. They did do like a ballady one, which also I think worked for a lot of their voices because they're not. As we'll talk about with some of these other groups where there is just a lot of loud noises, this is the one group that doesn't really do
We're not super loud noises, yeah.
They're not screaming, but they are loud.
Yes.
I think there's no avoiding that. But at least they're not screaming in your ears, thankfully.
Yes. They're one of the groups that I see has potential, and, like, again, are they a little rough around the edges? Sure. Most debuts are.
And especially considering the fact that they're really from, like, a nobody company, too, yeah.
And they were promoting super early. Like, I remember seeing teasers for this,
like last year. Yeah.
Before.
Yes.
Because we thought they might have debuted last year, because they were on, like, our tentative, if they debut this year, we're going to talk about them now,
Yeah, we were kind of waiting to see maybe if they were going to do anything last year.
They really set themselves up
now, or are they going to debut, like...
Yeah, it was them and T1419 were both like that. We had known about them last year, and we were just like, we maybe have to talk about them this year, but maybe they're debuting early next year. Like, we don't really know.
I think at this point, we just got to make it, if you debut, like, post, like, December 15th, or, like, December 1st, you talk about the next year.
You get shoved on the next year.
We do Mama
rules for awards,
like, if you post this date, you're counted as a next year next year debut.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they have potential. We'll see. I mean, they've improved from the first to the second. They're not one of the few groups that have had multiple comebacks, so that's always a good sign, especially when they're this early on in their... Because they debuted so early, so they had they kind of set themselves up to, like, if you debut in the middle of the year, it's kind of iffy or not if you're gonna have another one in the comeback in the same year. But when you debut like so early, you actually have to.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a third one.
I wouldn't be surprised if they really want to keep up the trend. I don't know how much better Karma did over Excalibur.
I think a lot of groups go for 3 songs their debut year, especially if they're in like the first half of the year too. Like they debuted early enough that they can.
They're on like a similar schedule to T, because T had one at the end of March. They had one at the beginning of July. Like it started like they seem to be on a similar schedule. So I think that they're both gonna have something by the end of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know if like T has all been singles, right? They don't had any.
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah. So they actually had 2 mini albums. Kind of cool to get more songs out of it.
Yeah, I like them a decent amount. Like they'll be
fine.
Relatively a decent amount in terms of all the other ones. The other thing that worries me is again the entertainment company.
Yeah, I think that's their probably biggest problem.
Especially these smaller entertainment companies. Like you'll get maybe like a year of like you put all your money into the debut, and then it's iffy what happens after that if they make it back or not. Alright, so we're moving on to WoW.
First WoW.
First WoW of this year. So this is WoW, also, which stands for Wizards of the World. Don't ask, that's not what the words mean. They debuted March 8th with Miss You. It does not have a music video.
No.
And no music video at all. There's just a performance version on M Countdown?
I don't even, they don't even have a performance version. They just promoted it on a handful of music shows, and, like, that's all that there is for them.
It's not, like, an official performance version. I'm like, they were just on, like, M Countdown.
Yeah.
And they have a member that was on Under 19, and they're, like, half a band, half a dance group. There's, like, they have, like, a drummer, a guitarist, and a bassist, I believe?
Something like that,
and then they have 4 people dancing.
So we're a modern-day Let Apple. 2021, we decided we need to be Let Apple. We gotta bring back the Let Apple concept,
I feel bad
apparently.
saying that, because Let Apple was somewhat decent.
Yeah.
So, and also, more confusingly, they share all their social media accounts with a pre-debut group called AFACT, where some of the members are also in that group. So what? I don't
understand what's going on with them. They're incredibly confusing.
Yeah, they have one song. It's bad. The concept is confusing, and honestly, if any group is just never gonna have a comeback,
it's them.
It's them.
It's so confusing. Like, the more I looked into them, I'm like, it got even worse. I'm just like, is the purpose to split off the dance group and the band at some point into, like, 2 separate groups? Like, I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
I don't know. It's just odd. Like, why are we dividing it this way? Why are we, like...
I was also 100% when they got announced was not expecting for them to be half a dance group and half a band. And so when I watched a stage and half of them were a band, it was a very confusing experience.
First time I saw it, when you rewatched it, I thought it was like, oh, they have a band backup, and then I'm like, why are they singing though? That's weird.
The band is singing.
Like, no, the band is part of this.
Or it was a band that had a bunch of backup dancers, and like, no, also not that.
I was like, no, I don't. I was like, what?
Like, this is the whole group. All of the people on the stage are the group.
It's like they wanted to debut 2 groups, and they're like, we don't have enough band members, and we don't have enough for a dance group.
It's like if they had debuted One Us and One We together as one.
Yeah, pretty much.
As only one, yeah.
As one. Not one us, not one we, one. One together.
Oh, that'd be a kind of cool concept, but I don't know if it works.
I don't think it would.
It didn't work for Let Apple. When Let Apple was doing that, like, 2012, and no one has done that since.
Let Apple wasn't really... Let Apple was a full band, but just both of their lead singers also danced. That's it. Like, this is like Let Apple evolved.
This is like, we've tried to modernize the Let Apple concept, but I think the Let Apple concept is a thing that we just shouldn't go back to anymore.
No, it didn't work for Let Apple.
This is one of the groups as well that they announced last year, but
it was one because I remember them Wizards of the World, and I thought that was really dumb. And it was like, I wonder what they're gonna be. And
I mean, I think
here they are.
We've been clowning on the name Wizards of the World since last year because.
Yeah.
I like how we went from like, what are these stupid names, to now we've just accepted the fact that there are just a lot of really bad names, and we've just desensitized to it, because honestly, I'm looking through.
These names are
all
terrible.
These groups are
all
terrible,
of them.
But I'm also like, all right, it's whatever at this point, because I've heard so many.
Yeah, it's very bad.
They're not good.
The names this year just got like way worse. But this is just like where K-pop is at.
Yeah, remember when we were making fun of P1 Harmony?
Yeah. And here we are with Wizards of the World and T1419.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
K-pop
companies
only
gets
do
better
better.
From here.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
That's all we have about them. They're bad and they're confusing.
Yep.
Is really all we have.
And honestly, I don't want to put that much energy into it because I don't think it's gonna pay off.
No, that's like it's probably gonna die.
The fact that they haven't had a music video yet and they share an account.
The thing is they're not even the only group on this list who doesn't even have a music video.
Well,
no, it's not.
Yeah.
The next group we're talking about is Cipher, spelled with 2 I's, to be unique, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually one of the groups from Rain's new company. Is it actually just called
Rain? It's just called Rain. I think the Rain might be an acronym or stand for something.
I'm sure it is.
Like,
but
also just run by Rain.
Yeah,
so.
it's like a backronym because it is just the person of Rain.
Yes.
Him.
They debuted in March 15th with the song I Like You. They have 7 members. One of them was from the 1 to 9, which you will hear a lot of this year. 2 of them were from the YG Treasure Box series, and 1 member was from No Mercy.
That member
we're getting things from No Mercy still. No Mercy.
That guy is so old in comparison to everyone else in that group.
Gave us Monsta X.
That show was on in 2014.
Yeah.
No Mercy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oof.
So, it's, I mean, hey, you still get some of them.
There weren't even that many people on No Mercy, by the way.
Yeah.
It was not like a ridiculously,
1 to 9 was pretty massive.
Oh,
so that's why I think there's a lot of people on the under 19 show.
There's 57, so it's about like a little bit over half of like a produced season.
Yeah.
So there will be lots of them just coming out.
And also some of the kids on under 19 were incredibly young, so we're going to be getting like them under 19 kids for years. Yeah.
And like 1 to 9 was 9 people, so we have about 9 groups that we can space them into.
Yes.
At least,
At max.
Well, 2 of them are in WEI, so I guess 8 groups that
we can divide them into.
So their song was interesting.
Yep.
You guys both did not like it.
I don't like it at all.
I wouldn't say I liked it.
Let's start with how do we want to format this? Do you want to defend it after we give our...
I'll defend it first and then you can bash
Okay.
Auto-tune is definitely noticeable. It's not for a lack of singing, but a style choice, I think. I don't know why. It was very forced. It was cute, but I didn't hate it. I mean, I'm not going to defend it that much.
It's not the hill Dan wants to die on.
Oh, no, I'm not dying on this hill. I just remember listening to it once, and I remember listening it to again. So that makes me not think I hated it.
Oh, no, we didn't. We skipped this.
We didn't.
We skipped it, because I don't care to listen to it a second time.
I have listened to it more than once, more than twice. I think I've listened to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might have listened to it more than you, because we had to listen to it to make the quarter 1 songs
and
thing.
that was an immediate on the
on the worst songs of the year.
The thing with it is, and as the Hive labels simp here, Hive uses a lot of auto-tune.
Yes.
They use a lot of auto-tune. And it is always an aesthetic choice. But the problem is that this one sounds terrible.
It was out of control about auto-tune.
They did.
They auto-tuned everything.
They're not quite chipmunks, but
they're
they are on their way.
They're on the way. They're closer to chipmunk than they are to human.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's a lot. And also, there's an aesthetic choice to it, but it still has to sound good. And this sounds terrible.
I feel like I actually would like them. I would like them a decent amount if they like could get the auto tune under control, because they have a sound as a group that I think I enjoy a lot. But it's produced so horribly.
Tell if they're like super like this group might be like super talented vocalists. I have no idea what they sound like.
I can't tell. You wouldn't be able to know.
It is one of those songs, yeah. Because I admit I have not listened to the album either, so like I don't know if the whole album.
The whole album is like that. The whole thing.
I was hoping maybe not.
Like half of it, and I was like,
the whole album is very much more of that exact
and then I was
sound.
Like, I don't want to finish this because I feel like I know where it's going.
So here's the thing with Cipher is a fully self-producing group.
Oh, poor babies.
So and also the thing is that they're also being produced by Rain. And I don't think I still remember when I don't like Rain's music at all. Like, recent Rain music, like, is very not great. I don't enjoy that. And the fact that he's letting them self-produce and probably not giving them enough guidance in that whole process.
Because I can see this being, like, him being like, oh, the aesthetic choice of... This is either a group that has had this idea on their own and, like, no one reeled them in. Mm-hmm. Or they had this idea and then someone was like, nah, you gotta go full in on it. Because especially debut groups, they're not fully they're self-produced, but they have at least someone from the company there.
Someone is there,
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Rain himself that was
I think it is. Like, Rain, this is Rain's group. And Rain, I don't really trust Rain.
I don't
so, like, produce a group.
Dan, you remember Rain on Island? He was useless.
I'm waiting for him to crash, is what I'm trying to say. He's been trying to do so much this year and last year that he's just like, oh, I gotta stay relevant.
Well, also, Rain
gotta be here.
Also, Rain with Chungha made one of both of their worst songs together.
I like the Jackson one more.
That's what I'm saying. Him and Chungha made both of their worst. Like, both of them had worst.
But I still didn't hate it either.
One of the things that
hated Rain either, so.
Brought Rain back into the spotlight was the fact that people got a hold of his song "Gang" and then were using it as a meme because it was so bad.
Yes.
Like, and that's what brought him back into the spotlight.
That is funny.
It was a lot. It's because that's the thing with Rain. Rain is good when he's like silly and out of it. This is not that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Because even like Rainism is ridiculous. Every Rain song
that
is somewhat popular or like iconic is a ridiculous song.
That's true.
And like this. He can't make just a traditional boy group. This is a traditional boy group.
Yeah.
And this is not how that's gonna go.
And I don't think he knows what to do with them. That's really the problem.
A lot of times when people go on to make boy groups, like it's people that were in boy groups.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause you had what's his name that ended up doing Top Media.
Andy.
But Andy was in a K-pop group from Shinhwa. Yeah. A bunch of people just are gonna make K-pop groups. We're in a K-pop group. The only two that haven't are JYP and now Rain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oof. Even YG technically was in a K-pop group.
He was in a K-pop group.
So now here we are.
That's true. Yep. Well, I don't know what to think about them yet because they don't have a second comeback, and so I really need to see what they're doing then.
Again, I think if they solve their one problem, I see them being quite good. I see them making a pretty big turnaround if they solve their one problem.
Yeah. And I feel like it's very easy for them to solve this one problem.
Again, this one problem is not a problem. It is an aesthetic. It is a purposeful choice.
It's a choice.
That is being made. Just stop making the choice and we'll be fine.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And just a small thing I forgot, was their fandom name is Clue. Which I think is pretty good.
That makes sense.
Their name is Cipher, Clue.
That's cute.
I think that's a good one.
I'm shocked you've never had a fandom name with the word. There's so many just like very simple words where I'm like, you've never had a fandom name with the word Clue?
So I feel like it has been done before. I just don't know it. It's one of those names, but
yeah.
I don't think they have because I didn't hear people on Twitter yelling that they stole someone else's fandom name.
Oh yeah, because even if it was a small group, you'd hear people yelling about it if someone had stolen a fandom name. Yeah,
exactly. So I'm just like, no, I don't. I think that it's just an overlooked. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, we never got Clue.
Mm-hmm.
Cipher and Clue. Nice.
I like it.
And honestly, not the worst.
No,
so
I
good
think
job
they're
not the
for
worst.
that, I guess.
They're a cute little young boy group that I think can grow into better things.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
We shall
soon.
see.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so
Alright,
our next group is Me Ray. They are under DSP Entertainment, which DSP Entertainment, probably the biggest entertainment company we have for any groups on this list, which is saying something for
In terms
everyone
of
else,
name
essentially.
recognition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They debuted on March 17th with Kayla, and their fandom name is Now. I don't know how that has a relation to them, really, but okay.
I don't know.
They are a 7-member boy group, and they have Dongpyo from X1, and they also have 2 members who are on Under 19.
Under 19,
Once
just
again.
truly thriving this year.
There's a lot of people from Under
I was
19
surprised
this year.
how many. Is it because I know 1 to 9?
Mm-hmm.
They had it was Project Group,
Yeah.
right? It didn't.
Yeah.
It ended.
It
so
they disbanded like.
did all the under 19 people also like stuck for a while?
No,
or no?
I think that
I think it's just a
I
coincidence.
think they were probably just a lot of them were very young.
Yeah,
because
a
all
lot
of them obviously on that show
young.
were under
And
19 as
also,
the show would
I think
suggest.
Right when Under 19 was happening was also when Produce X
Produce X
was happening at the same time. So I think
Ah.
the Produce X kids got priority last year.
Yeah,
And I
because
think
all
this
of
year-
the X1 kids came out last year. Yeah,
And I think that this year they were just like, just give them another year to train and get ready, and then we'll do it the year after. Because now Produce is officially
Right.
just all gone.
because I do think also a thing with that was a lot of the kids on under 19. I don't think necessarily were in entertainment companies or
Yeah.
anything yet. So I think they probably took a year or so to like get
Figure
more
out where they were
training
gonna
and
go.
stuff. Yeah, but they're pretty good. I think they're they're definitely one of the better
Yeah.
groups
They're
that
like,
debuted this
yeah,
year.
they're a better group that debuted this year. They're doing a lot. They're doing a very similar style, like a T numbers or something, where it's just very like that loud in your face music again.
But it's like
But it's better.
I've seen them described as like if you took NCT Superhuman and made that a concept for a group, that's what Mirai is essentially.
Yeah.
That's what I saw the most of.
Yeah. Which is they're more on like the weird like techno type like
Yeah.
futuristic
Dance.
dance music
vibe.
video type stuff half in there. Yeah.
I like it.
Which is popular, and I think it works.
It does work.
They're doing a pretty good job with it too.
Yeah, I like the
DSP
idea.
Entertainment doesn't have like really a lot of other boy groups to even
Not
compare them to.
No, they
had
SS. No,
SS
501.
501, yeah.
Yes.
And then they had Ajax for a little
They
bit.
had
That
Ajax.
was it.
Yeah, I mean DSP is never really. I mean,
Ajax, as in the like cleaning brand.
Yep.
yep. But yeah, the DSP's boy groups never did nearly as well as any of their other. I mean, the fact
No,
that
not at all.
their co-ed group is outdoing any boy group they've ever had.
Oh
I
yes.
mean, SS 501
That's
was
funny.
decently popular for their
They
time.
were fine. Yeah.
For their time, but like they were not around for a long time.
Ajax really was just like kind of existing
They were
in
there.
like Nugu territory
They
for
were-
their whole career.
They were
yeah.
present. They're
Yeah.
a name I every once in a while will hear someone mention when you want to go for like a Nugu of the Nugus.
Yep.
But yes.
Well, DSP is concerned with other things right now.
Yeah, that's the problem is I think they debuted them right after the April stuff happened. And that's all they have really going on. DSP is dealing with the April scandals. So
And
I don't
not
really know.
focusing
Yeah.
on there. I don't know how long we'll get before we have
April?
a comeback per se.
It's
I mean, it was in March, so it's only
Maybe
been 4 months, so
soon?
maybe
I feel
around
like it
the
was so
summer.
much earlier. That's
It
just
does
so
seem
crazy.
earlier.
It does
Yeah.
seem earlier, yeah. But yeah, no, it was only like mid-March, so they still have a little bit, like, it's around now that I should be hearing something.
yeah.
Something.
I feel like they probably will have another comeback by the
I mean, I don't think
End of the
DSP
year.
is doing that poorly that they can't just invest a little bit more into this group and they're just gonna let them,
Yeah.
like...
I mean, they also have having a X1 member helps the
Well,
popularity
it
just
does.
immediately.
Like also popular X1 member.
He was the pick-me center for
that's where I
Previous
know him
X.
from.
Yeah.
So yeah, no,
He
they
was-
have
he's
a
pretty
good
popular.
seller. He should
on
be
all
fine.
this. Come on.
Mm-hmm. I think they're also one of the best-selling ones so far this year.
Yeah.
So they're doing pretty good.
And only with one album, so like I feel like
Yeah.
they'll be fine.
Because like I think it's T1419 is above them, but they have 2 albums.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So yay for them.
It does help
It does help.
when you have multiple.
The numbers start to add up.
Yes.
Math.
But yeah, no, I think that they could be quite good. I like the concept. They are filling in more of a niche.
I like that they sound a little bit different than all
Yeah.
of the other groups, so I appreciate that too.
All right. Anything else?
That's it
Not
for
new
them.
for them.
Yeah.
All right, now we move on to the other group that doesn't have a music video, NTX.
Yep.
They're under Victory
Who?
Company. Exactly. Debuted.
Well, what's funny is when we brought these out, there was 2 groups I didn't know anything about, and
Yeah.
it was WoW and NTX, and I'm like, I don't know these 2, and then you're like, these 2 do not have any music. I'm like, oh, that's probably why I've never heard of them.
So they don't have a music video. They're a 10-member boy group. They debuted on March 30th with Kiss the World. And they're the group that got into a bit of problems with their teaser images for their debut.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Because
Essentially canceled pre-debut.
I don't know who thought it was a good idea to do this, but they were dressed in some cultural garb of cultures they are not a part of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're like in a
Like
Scottish kilts.
traditional outfits from like
But also
like,
mixed with like boxing.
a lot
and
of different
Aladdin.
cultures.
Just
And
Aladdin.
there's also just a cowboy
Yes.
for one of them.
It's
a lot.
It's just truly the costumification of culture.
Yes,
In every
100%.
way. The costumification of a culture. But
I think that might be why they don't have a music video.
because they were like,
I feel like they
we
might have
must
filmed it
shelve
with those
this.
costumes and then just completely scrapped it once they got like 10,000 complaints from people.
Oof.
Which is crazy.
Which is, yeah.
To think
Because they have a
didn't
7-minute performance version of it.
And
For
there's
some
also
reason,
a
it's
ballad
7
version
minute
of it.
long. And they also have, and it's not like they didn't spend some money to do this. They have about 5 pre-debut songs.
Yeah.
And all of them have, I mean, they're not music videos, they're performance videos, but like, why would you make these when you don't have the money to make a music video for their actual debut?
I honestly do. Now that I'm like thinking about it more, that probably is what happened with them, is that they had a music video and then had to scrap it completely because of
because
everything
they were
that
wearing
happened.
that.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. The song itself is actually like kind of okay.
It's not
Yeah,
terrible.
It wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
And like, I listened to bits of their pre-debut stuff. It's not
fine.
that bad.
It's fine.
But like, oof.
I think that really killed their chances at success. Because they're already from a
Victory Company, which
Victory Company. Like, who are you? And they're already, and like that's already setting them up for like new boy group territory for their entire career. And
now
when that
they're
happened,
gonna be known as the group with those teaser images.
because that's all they're gonna be known for. That's like, I think that if anyone knows this group at all, that's the only thing they know about them.
I mean,
And it's
not,
unfortunate.
I mean, again, it's gonna take time or just a lot of true work for them to go past that. I don't know if they have either of those things, time or anyone willing to do that kind of work for them.
Yeah.
But they could.
It'll take time.
It's
I'll be
gonna take a
interested to
lot.
see. I'll be interested to see if they even have another comeback.
Who knows? They haven't yet. But it's, again, like I said with me, right? It's March 30th.
Again, yeah, we're
basically
reaching the
June.
time where none of these groups have another comeback because they debuted more recently.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. The next group we're talking about is WoW, and not to be confused with the other WoW, but this is WoW as in WAO, So wow, I don't know, and it stands for We Are the One from Top Entertainment. They debuted late April 22nd with the song On the Fire, and it's a 7-member group.
Mm-hmm. So this is when... So this and the next group we're talking about, where we were just like, the boy groups this year are so bad.
Yeah.
We're just like, we're
really,
not having a fun time.
We were so in the weeds because all we had was Mirai and Kingdom, which are groups that I'm not going to say we particularly are going to die on that hill. We're like, I mean, they're fine. And then we're like, there's nothing here I would say is
And so I
good.
went on a journey to like what other group I was like I was willing to go into like really new group boy group territory. I was like, who else do we have this year that is possibly good that we could look into?
Really,
and I found
who else do we have this year? Period. Like what else has happened?
And so then I came across WoW, and I watched their music video, and I was like, I actually like them a lot. Yes. And I like them a lot because they remind me a lot of 7 o'clock.
Yeah, they
I
have
love
very
7
big
o'clock.
7 o'clock energy, and that somewhat makes me sad because
7 o'clock disbanded this year, so
rip 7 o'clock.
And I was like, great.
I genuinely really like. Both of us really liked 7 o'clock. They deserved so much better.
And they are making, like, exactly the same type of music that 7 o'clock made. And exactly the same sets and the same, like, low quality that 7 o'clock was.
Almost in the same outfits. Genuinely,
it's like,
if 7 o'clock wore those outfits, I'm like, yes, this is appropriate. And also, there's 7 of them.
Like, this whole music video was essentially, like, where they filmed Echo at. And I'm just like, this is new 7 o'clock. I found them.
It's like Echo set mixed with Nothing Better.
Yes.
It's like both of those sets combined, and I'm like, it's just 7 o'clock.
I enjoy them a lot. They only have they debuted with a single, so they have this and one under B-side. I enjoy both of the songs a lot, though. I like them. I have I don't know if I really have high hopes for them, considering they're gonna live in Nugu territory forever.
The fact that
probably.
we're like big 7 o'clock vibes makes me sad because again, 7 o'clock deserves 7
o'clock not also, necessarily a group that was thriving.
This will not be the last time that we're gonna talk about 7 o'clock.
Oh no, surprisingly no, not the last time 7 o'clock will be talked about this episode.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't really care for them one way or another. I wasn't really care. I wasn't a 7 o'clock fan, so yeah.
So our next group is I found the next group is Blitzers. I found Blitzers when I was looking for WoW. I found them about 4 days before they were about to debut.
Yes.
And I was like and then I heard a couple of their pre-debut songs, and I'm like, I feel like they could be good. So, Blitzers is under Wuzo Entertainment, and they were known as Wuzo Circle pre-debut. And they debuted on May 7th with Breathe Again. And they are a 7-member boy group, and they also have 7 former members.
Again, how the fuck do you have, that's not former members, that's just people that didn't debut.
It's looking into the history of this group was also pretty wild because they apparently released their pre-debut single, which one of them was Drawing Paper, which is on their debut mini album.
Which is a good song.
It's a good song.
This mini album I recommend. It's actually quite good.
I like their mini album a lot. I think they're very good.
Pilot, also good. And
Ocean
Blue, great.
Yes. So they released one of their pre-debut singles, and their company put up this poll or something where fans could vote for Prom King or something because they were having like a school graduation concept. And then apparently, right after that, 7 of the members were no longer there. It's believed that all of the 7 members that suddenly disappeared from the group were the ones who ranked lower on that poll and were just kicked out.
Alright guys, Twitter poll, who's gonna make it into the group?
And I'm like, that's terrible.
The fact that it was a Twitter poll that no one knew that they were participating in that kind of bullshit. But and also the fact
because no one knows why. It only says it's believed that this is what happened. So like, who actually knows? But like, if that is what happened, that's terrible.
Like, but also the fact that, no offense, but I also don't think this being a 14-member group would have been a good idea.
They were definitely not going to debut 14 people.
But like, so many people.
Yeah.
That was kind of like a situation of like we have too many, but we don't know who to get rid of. So
let's just put it to a poll.
Let's just put it
let's
to
find
a
a
poll,
way
but
of
like
which
not
one is the
tell
most
anyone.
popular.
Yeah.
Tell no one. It's just like a fun prom king poll. Whatever.
Right? Because
Who
that's like
cares?
incredibly deceptive. Like that's terrible.
So... This industry has gone too
imagine?
far.
Yeah.
We fucked up,
but other
guys.
than that, I like that's real fucked up. I like Blitzers a lot. I think they were very good.
Yeah, again, more things where I'm like they're good, but
they're also they're very much in the same realm as well, where like they're gonna live in Nugu boy group territory their entire career, probably. But I do like them.
I like them.
I enjoy them a lot.
And I was very indifferent. I didn't care negatively or positively, so.
Eh.
That was me.
Alright. Cool.
New group next.
The newest group next.
The newest of groups. So next we have TO1. Where
wow.
I know we've never
They sound great. It's like I don't know, man. They had some kind of career.
So
it's like they had an entire career before they debuted.
Yeah, so this is probably the group we've talked about the most. Because they originally debuted in April of 2020 as 2 with Magnolia.
What?
Then they went on Road to Kingdom, which we've also covered. Then they came back with Count 1-2 on July 5th, which we've also covered.
Which was great.
Which was great. Then they took a long break when their 2 management companies, CJ, E&M, and NCH Entertainment, had a legal dispute over who actually managed this group. And then they re-debuted as TO1 on May 20th under CJ's new music label, Wake One. So this is all just a way for CJ to have this group in total control.
Yes. It's like, it was this whole legal dispute that was happening was like terrible. It was like, apparently CJ E&M had decided to randomly cancel the contract with the other company, and they were just like, we were not aware that you were doing this or were allowed to do this.
And also, like, we own this group. Like, I guess maybe because, probably the name was under probably both companies, so they're like, fuck it, we're just changing the name. We're re-debuting. Nothing has changed. No one has left. No one was added.
Nope.
They're exactly the same group.
Sounding the same.
They are
with a song
exactly
that's
the same.
Continuing to get better, I think.
Yeah.
I like Count 1-2 was really like way better than Magnolia, and the album itself was really great. And then this album was also very good. They released an English version, which was fine. They did drop their whole gimmick of covering like Western pop
English
music
songs,
which is a shame because I really like those. They're probably their best songs before, but I do like this, and I even like the B-sides again. Like 2 TO1 whatever, they're still good, and I like the boys. So I think they're just getting more is good, and also the fact that they're just getting better with time is also a good thing. And I think they do have a pretty dedicated fan base.
Speaking of fan base, their fandom name is Together because their previous fandom name was Together, but with 2 O's. Because
Together.
And then it was seemingly changed to regular spelling once they re-debuted.
Which is lame. They should have just gone with a totally different name, but they also already had
had everything for that. Everything was already made. Let's just keep it.
So they make everything, they just have like a black X.
Yeah, you just cross out one of those.
Give me some white out.
No.
I need 50 gallons of it.
What it is, it's Together, but with a space, so like you just take out the O for a space. That would have been a way to do it if you really had
that would be a way to do
so
it.
bad, but
it's
right.
Together, but 2 words, which is even
but just
worse.
2 words. Yeah, it's like not the way you're supposed to spell it.
Also, I want to point out that it's Son of a Beast, but really it's Son of a Bitch, because that's all I can hear.
I also want to say how the song title is Son of Beast and not Son of a Beast, which is very confusing
but also
as well.
in the song, they say Son of a Beast.
Yeah.
They do.
Not Son of Beast.
I don't know why they decided to do the title different. Maybe because they didn't
That's
want
exact.
it to be.
They give me flashbacks to the April La 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 La, where it's like this. It's like not the same thing that they're saying in the song.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was so bad.
I still don't know what that song is actually called.
It's got one less la.
Lolly la.
And that it does in what they say in the song.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, TO1's still good.
They're the
Red
same.
Kingdom
They're exactly the same group, and they're
surprised
still
everyone. It surprised this podcast. It's probably one of our founding groups as well.
They
shockingly.
are like a founding group of this podcast.
It was one of our defining beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
We were discussing debuts, and I'm like, man, there's not many I liked so far, but what else besides a couple of the groups that we've mentioned already? And I was just like, and he's like, don't forget TO1, and I'm like,
I forget them all.
That group.
Again, I don't. It's one of those
they're not
things
really
where,
a
like,
debut.
I don't feel like they count. They technically count. Technically.
Yeah, but I also
But
don't.
also,
like
I feel like they're
they're exactly the same.
They're an identical group. Like, it's not even...
They literally
you could say, like...
changed.
Sure, like, Minx and Dreamcatcher.
That's a different group.
Yeah, they're very
That's
different.
a different group, yeah.
Group.
But this is like a Son of Beast, whatever it's called,
a lot.
is literally in between Magnolia
and Count 1
and
2.
Count 1
Yeah.
2. Because Count 1 2 is very on the cute side, and
Magnolia is
way
Magnolia.
too far on the angsty side. And Son of a Beast is a happy medium, which is why I think it was good.
Yeah.
I still think Count 1 2, I think, is still my favorite of them, but I like that they are still doing well. And I mean, CJ doesn't have like no money either, so it's like they will.
CJ's got all the money.
I mean, look,
they will put stuff in here.
This is honestly, if I'm looking at really, we talked about how what had the biggest entertainment company. It's CJ E&M. That's the biggest entertainment company.
I mean, yeah,
that
CJ
E&M. But it's just they're not really known for their groups.
That's fine. They have all of the money, though.
But they got all of the money. Yeah,
they do have all the money. They have all the licenses. They just love their legal battles. They're just, I guess, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Good for them, though. I'm glad they're still alive. I was like, because we were all discussing, like, man, it's about time 2 has a comeback, and then all of a sudden we see TO1. We're like, wait, what?
It's like, oh.
There they are. We were just discussing that. We're like, they have to come out anytime now. It's about time.
Because they were, like, performing on KCON as 2, and then, like, a couple days later, they're just like, hey, we're new group now.
We're not 2 anymore. Bye.
Yeah.
That was...
We're TO1.
Mm-hmm.
Which now just gets us confused with JO1, which then gets us confused with,
Into 1.
And then there's Into It, and then there's just a bunch of confusing shit.
Which is also a survival show. It has too many of them.
It's all of the Mnet, like, adjacent survival shows, yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Which, I guess, brings us to our next group. Epex from C9 Entertainment.
Oof.
They debuted in June 8th with Lockdown, but also were on the pre-debut reality show with TO1 on Mnet with Welcome to House.
Again, how the fuck did those 2 meet?
Why? I don't know why they decided to put them together
at all.
This is
not the same company. What are we doing?
I have absolutely no idea how the concept of that reality show, like, came to be. Like, it was the most confusing thing I'd seen when I first saw it. I'm like, oh yes, TO1. Also with, like, C9 rookies, and I'm like, what?
Before
like,
they had a name, too, because I don't even think they were called Epex yet.
They were named, they were not named yet. They were C9 rookies, yeah.
And I'm like, why are they with C9 rookies? C9 has another boy group they could put here. It's not like they're both 2 orphan groups that have no one else in their company.
No, it was very confusing.
No. So, C9, notable groups, CIX, and a girl group who will be not named.
Dan, they're not, like, it's not Voldemort.
It is Voldemort to me. I don't know. That was also a defining member, or group of this podcast.
Apparently it is.
It's signature for people that don't know.
Yeah, okay. I think I'll start off by saying I like Epex because I like 6 or CIX, however you want to call them. I call them 6. I don't know why.
Okay.
CIX.
But you guys hate them.
They're not good.
I do. I hate them a lot.
I also hate Signature, so I feel like this is a C9 problem.
It's a C9 problem for sure.
We like 6. We like 6.
We do.
I
like 6.
CIX is one of my, I'd say, second favorite boy group. I own
all of them.
All the stuffs. I went hard. It was just like during this year.
It was like cinema hit, and you're just like, I need to know everything about them.
I always liked them, like Movie Star, and I don't know why we're talking about CX instead of E-Press.
Because this is more interesting.
More interesting.
It is. But like I liked their debut with Movie Star, and I liked Numb, which you guys didn't care for. Which also has this weird, because the main problem with this group is the production is whack. There's no other way of saying it. They just decide to just scream into your ears really loud. And I'll say it, CIX has some weird songs like that too. I mean, Jungle is pretty out there.
See, I like Jungle.
This new song Jungle that they just had from the Universe. The Universe.
We don't talk about the Universe songs. Like those, we're not going to do anything. The Universe
also
songs
has weird production things. So, and I
think every single Universe song has weird production issues.
Yeah. Signature with their stupid new Nanan also has really loud noises.
Every single one of Signature songs has that problem. Oh yeah, all of them.
So I feel like this is just a trend, and I don't see the very beginning of the song, the beat at the start. I was like, hey, this is pretty good. The rappers are not bad. I kind of like this, and then the chorus hits, and you're just like, oh,
garbage.
This is not what I wanted. The B-sides, I have actually listened to this album multiple times, mainly because some of our other friends that we know are always talking about them. I don't know why this is the boy group they held on to, but they said they like this group, which is weird.
I mean, I think with the friends that we keep, that makes perfect sense.
I think you're right with that. I don't. Yeah, it's on brand for them.
It's on brand for them, much like it's on brand for us to absolutely despise it.
Yes, and both of those things are very on brand.
So this is the group I am most looking forward to seeing what they do next. Out of all the ones, I feel like this will be whether I like them or not, because I'm not sold one way or the other. If it's more of the same,
this could be
and
like
it's
Kayla
just
with Signature. Really, you start off.
Exactly.
They got worse. They got
down.
Worse every single time they released a new song.
So we'll see what happens. Also to note, one thing that leans me towards the side that I don't like is their initial concept teasers are all about, and the name of the album.
Oh, I forgot that was also a big part of this.
If we all just want to sell, what is the name of this first? By the way, this is implied to be parts, so we're gonna continue this naming concoction.
So this is, which is not a good sign.
It's very bad. It's a very bad sign.
It's the title of the first EP is Bipolar Part 1 Prelude of Anxiety. Oof. And then even in the song it's called Lockdown. I don't even know if I mentioned the name of the song is Lockdown, and it's all about, in this trying time we gotta lock down and stuff. Which is
the thing is they're like a year too late on that.
Yep.
Number one.
There have been a lot of comebacks this year that have been lockdown related, and
sure,
there have
His House
been.
Party was that.
House
Party was that. What was there was another one.
There was another one. I know. I don't
remember. I don't remember what it was, but it was basically that as well. And people are joking, if you don't like these songs, then you are against having a safer world, or whatever.
Oof.
Whatever.
Big oof.
I'm not really sold on the whole angsty bipolar mental health, let's make this our concept.
That is terrible.
It's not a very good look.
That is, I think, the thing that I hate about them the most is that is what they have decided is the concept, at least for debut stuff, and it's not great.
I don't know, which is funny because one of my favorite parts about CIX is their concept of how they went with this continuing aesthetic and look to them. So I know they like sticking to these series, if that makes any sense, because that was the whole thing with CIX. So I was that's what sold me, because I like clean, organized releases. Wow.
Yeah, you like the ATs for the same reason.
Yeah,
the exact same reason.
You like the continuing story arcs.
And I do like that they have No, I'm not. I like the continuing stories, but I don't like the continuing lore. Thankfully, this year, apart from, I would say, Kingdom, there hasn't been a lot of lore, which is a good trend to get out of, because I feel like that was the last...
I don't think Kingdom even really has lore. I think they have
lore.
like they have a concept of music video, but I don't think they
I guess that's a better thing.
Yeah. One of
As
your
opposed
favorite
to
groups is continuing their lore.
Yes. Has a lot of lore. One of your favorite groups. It's only
pushy.
lore.
That's Hybe's fault,
it's
though.
honestly
I'm sorry.
expanded to other groups. We're getting
has.
K-pop Twilight, and I'm excited.
We are. It's happening.
That
was the
honestly,
biggest
Dan,
thing of last
year.
year,
You're treating
though.
that like a negative. I honestly do not see anything but K-pop Twilight as a positive. Thank you very much.
I read my books and watch my TV shows for my lore. I don't want to watch.
And you want to see it through K-pop lore.
I don't want K-pop lore.
Again, we had this discussion the other day too. We got in K-pop in 2015, which was the beginning of the BTS lore.
Yes, it was before, but it was before it was like incredibly like convoluted. So.
Yeah. Well, I was like last year's groups. There was a lot of. I felt like they were really like.
Oh
if you
yeah,
want
and
a K-pop
Hypen.
group, you gotta have the lore.
P1 Harmony for some reason has lore that I don't understand or think is important
FNC's
to them,
fault,
but
so
yeah.
We'll just accept that and move on. Yeah, I guess because all those bigger groups debuted last year, so this.
Because all of the big,
like,
all the big companies released groups last year, so we have like
all
no
the
one
small
left
companies now.
to release groups this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
My big problem with EPEX is I think they are the biggest offenders of everyone on this list of being completely and totally unprepared for debut.
Oh, I agree.
I think so too. They needed some time. But I do like their rappers. I will say that I think their rap line was pretty good. And then they just don't know how to make a chorus. 2 members in that group who can sing. 2 of the 8 members can sing, and that's why they had to shout the chorus, is because they can't sing.
Because they can't harmonize anything. Everyone is just yelling at me.
That's my
biggest
problem with Signature, though. That was literally it. It was the fact they just yelled their chorus and did weird noises, and that's exactly what EPEX is. So, I mean, I think in terms of numbers, they were actually doing
They are the best-selling boy group of this year so far, and it is incredibly sad that this is the case. The world that we live in.
I am okay with it, but also it is.
You're okay with them outselling CIX?
No, I'm not okay.
This is my thing that concerns me about them.
Wasn't going to be the best outselling album just because it was their best song.
This is my problem, is that now that EPEX is popular, I think they're going to throw CIX to the side, and that makes me very sad.
They can't. They have Bajan Young. They can't get rid of him. He is the face of the group, and then there's the other guys. I mean, come on.
There's Bajan Young, and there's the other guys.
You find this trend.
To continue, Bajan Young has to start being an actor, and I don't know if Bajan Young is an actor.
Don't. He's not.
He's not an actor.
He's not an actor.
Also, considering the fact that he was in 101, and 101 has had so many actors.
Most of them.
If you watch any variety content with him, he is just... I have a pretty face, but I have no personality.
Aww.
So you'll notice this trend
of
my favorite groups. Twice, CIX, I like to give them the worst time. If I like the group, I tend to flame them the most.
You tend to hate the people.
Yes.
I always do, but I love them to death, and I would trade my goat for them. I don't know.
You don't have a goat.
I was like, what are
my
you?
quotable.
Right. You could trade my goat for them.
My non-existent goat.
Yeah.
Where did that even come from?
I don't know.
What does that mean?
I think it's just like something of value is always been like
goat?
My goat. Trade a bride for a goat or whatever.
All right.
So
Moving on.
My goat up.
Moving on. Right. Kayla, go.
Gotta get away from this conversation.
Say something.
So we're gonna move on to now the two
good
best groups that have debuted
this
year. They came in
on the same day.
They came in on the same day, right at the end of Q2, to save this entire list. Essentially, we are first going to talk about Omega X. Omega X debuted on June 30th with Vamos, and they are under Aspire Entertainment. And Omega X is made up of members who have all been in disbanded or still technically active boy groups.
But really
or
disbanded boy groups, let's be honest?
And there's that one kid who isn't really in a boy group, but he's been on multiple survival shows and is, like, pretty well known. So, like, this is essentially just, like, we're trying to make a super group, except we're making it out of groups that are all very unknown and disbanded. So, so to list these groups, that all of these people are from, we have a member of Spectrum, a member of Limitless not technically disbanded, member of Snooper, also not technically disbanded. We have 3 members from Hanoi.
Oof.
We've got a member of 7 O'Clock. We have Kim Taedong, who is in a group called Jigong Dae, but is more famously known for being on Produce Season 2. Was supposed to be in JBJ, but his company, like, couldn't figure shit out, so he wasn't. And then he was on Boys 24. And then we have 2 members of One Team, and then a member of One the Nine. Another one.
Yep.
Yes.
They're
Omega X
very
is
good.
shockingly really
So
good.
good.
I was expecting them to be terrible, and they're really good.
I think you should talk about Just Be right now, and then we could talk about them together, because there was a lot that happened.
It was on the same, yeah, they came on the same day together.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then we have Just Be from Blue Dot Entertainment, also debuted on the 30th with Damage, and they're a 6-member boy group. So then you have Jimin, who was on The Fan and had a solo debut. 2 island boys of Jimin and Gungyu, our boy.
Oh my gosh. It happened.
Do-young from One the Nine, and then Bane. For a second I thought we misspelled Brian, and I'm like, is it Brian?
No.
Did we just misspell Brian? From Under 19. More Under 19 boys. And honestly, I was so hoping that this group would be good. Mainly from 2 boys, where I'm like, please be good. Please be good. Please. I beg of you, please.
As soon as I mean, like, out of nowhere, I just see Gunyu trending on Twitter, I think, and I'm just like, lol, why is this here? And then I realize he's debuting, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's finally happening. This is what all of Island was leading up to, and now it's finally happening. And then I'm like, this is great. And then I hear Lim Jimin is also going to be in said group, and I'm like, wait a minute. I recognize that name, and I, like, check in my stats here to, like, who knows this person, and I'm like, oh, I have, like, 100 plays of this one guy, and I'm just like, what? So I'm like, 2 guys that I already love, and then they just announced after in one group, and I'm like, and then they said, oh, another island member is joining, Jimin from that group, and I'm just like, and then...
And
like,
honestly, Jimin was slightly one of the more notable ones from.
Yeah, he was.
Just saying, Island had a lot of people. I recently had to relook at our flashcards, Dan, and there's a lot of people I'm like, who? Whom is
I did actually remember him.
I remember.
That is someone I remember.
Him is a memory. There's people on there, Dan, where I'm like, who?
Yeah, no, I had no idea. And then Do-young, isn't he technically the winner of under 19?
Maybe. I wasn't paying attention.
I thought he was
attention to that show.
Like, either way, it was like, I'm gonna like this group. There's no way I don't like this group, right? It's like I like half the people in it.
There is a way that you don't like this group, and it's if they make songs like EPEX makes. So that's why true. I was nervous. I would have. See, here's the thing, right? Even if the song was like absolute garbage, I would have just forced myself to eventually like it, like I'd like to do. You would have like just been like, nah, this is great. We're like, damn.
So June 30th. June 30th was the day I was looking forward to a long time. I was like, yes, finally. And then out of nowhere, I didn't pay attention to this at all. Omega X comes out, and I'm just like, oh gosh, they're both so good. I don't know what to do.
I would like to apologize to Omega X because I had expected them to be really bad because I'm like,
clowned on Omega X a lot.
Yeah. I was like,
it does have not a good like track record of let's take all the leftovers.
All of these groups that have disbanded and have been like,
and the thing is, like
not that great.
Here, like there are groups here that I like. I liked One the Nine a lot. We've talked about how much we've loved 7 O'Clock for a while now. Snooper I enjoyed. Like there's none of these groups were terrible, but it's just like you look at the concept and you're like, ugh.
This doesn't bode
And then
well.
they're saying we're making a super group out of K-pop, and I'm like, all of these groups that you're talking about are not what I go to for like super group of K-pop here.
Super group is not what I would use to describe these groups, but here we are. But the thing with it is that they're like very good. The whole album's really good.
They're so good. Yeah, the whole album is so good.
Both albums
are very good. Yeah. I also like Deja Vu from the Just Be album. I really liked. There's a lot of songs from both of these albums that are very good.
Ice Tag and then Omega X.
The song, Omega X, the song,
That's probably their...
Younger's also my
Younger, I like a lot, yeah.
Younger is the only song I really didn't care for. Just, I don't know.
This is why...
It's alright.
This is why we need all of us here. We're just gonna get opposite opinions on the same song.
Yes.
For sure.
Because I also, did not enjoy Deja Vu on the Just Be album at all.
Here we are.
I didn't... Deja Vu was fine. It wasn't my favorite. I liked, mostly the title. Both titles I think were...
Both titles are very good.
Very good. It's very rare that I now would say that a title track is the best song on the album.
Yeah.
And yet both of these
have the best.
By far.
Yeah.
And they picked a great debut song. It's very memorable. It sticks in your head, both of them. I'm excited for all of this. Also, I love a good Dancing in an Inch of Rain. I do.
Oh, yes.
Love it. It's my favorite K-pop trope.
When me and Sammy were making the our Q2 K-pop list thing, we finalized it a couple days before the end of the month because we didn't expect anything other than 2 p.m. to get added on to that list. And then we had to shove. We had a spot for 2 p.m. and then we're just like, that'll probably be it. And then these two songs came around and now we're both. It's like, well, now we have to put both of them. Both of them have to be here now.
I think it was
Wow got kicked out. Wow and Hot Sauce got kicked out.
NCT Dream, but you gotta get new room for the new blood.
Omega X and Just Be have to be here now.
Not that NCT Dream is old blood at this point. They're also children.
No.
Yeah.
And of all these 12 groups, did you get any of said physical albums?
No, but we own both. I own now both of them because I just ordered the Omega X one today.
I was close to getting the M-Wave TL1 album, but I didn't end up getting it. But I am also very close to buying Omega X.
I bought the M-Wave for Just Be and just bought Omega X.
I did as well, and I think I will probably end up getting Omega X. Here's what I see for both these groups. I feel like Just Be will have a very good second album. I have no idea what's coming out of Omega X.
Yeah, Omega X is much more of a question mark.
Again, I'm hoping Omega X does well. I could see Omega X being completely squandered. I could see them being thrown in the trash.
They're even in album sales that you said that
they're printing more albums
because they didn't expect it to
do so well. Good for them.
Yeah, what is their album sales at this point, 7,000?
7,000.
Which again, I'm saying they didn't even print 10,000 albums for this group.
Mm-hmm.
They did not expect anything to happen. Which again, I'm very happy for them. I'm very happy that they're actually doing well, and I'm happy that they're good. I'm so happy that they're good.
I agree.
I'm happy both of them are good. I was nervous for both of these groups.
I was too.
I had some faith into Just Be because in theory, just based on the people that were there, I'm so they have to be good, right? In theory, they should be great.
I also had an irrational fear that Unhypen was going to be terrible, and I was just terrified.
Same.
I was so scared because I'm too invested that if this is terrible, I feel like I'm just going to feel bad. So I wanted this.
Yeah. I feel like one of the biggest things that come out of Just Be are a ton of performance and choreographies versions of their songs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They are a pretty good dance unit. I was really surprised, especially Bane, the under 19 member, because I already had set I like the Island Boys. I love the solo debut of Lim Jim, and so I'm and I know this 1-9 kid is not awful.
I mean, this 1-9 kid is actually quite good.
Yes.
He's good. I really like 1-9, and he was a fine member. I liked he's good.
Now I'm just trying to go back because we've mentioned every single member of Just Be, and I feel bad for the one kid that we haven't mentioned.
The one who wasn't on anything.
So, let me go. Let's just mention him,
Sunwoo,
please.
I think this is pretty sure. His name is Sunwoo. He actually, I forgot to mention, he's definitely not on the less talented side because he is in charge of the choreography.
Oh,
That's what he does.
Yeah.
Which is insane to think. And I was just like, what?
Yeah, he's the
really
Maknae,
good.
he's the young one, and I would just
Yeah.
I feel bad that we had, like, we're mentioning 5 out of 6, and I'm like, let's just mention him, please. I feel bad for this child.
And that's what surprised me is honestly the choreography really impressed me, so good props to him. And also who really impressed me was Bane and how anytime he was center, he was very, very passionate. I don't know, he gave me some really intense, like,
he's got
80s
good
vibes.
He's got good face.
Very, very good, like, stage presence and stuff. So I was like, this is cool. I like groups that have very powerful, like good dance units. I mean, like, they were throwing themselves on the ground, like spinning around. Like, it was, it was really good. And then Omega X comes out also with like
crazy.
this like
Crazy.
Latin
More
crazy.
Not Latin. Latin adjacent.
Not Latin. Take that back.
Not Latin
adjacent.
How dare?
There you go.
How dare? I
Sorry,
know my
sorry,
Latin.
sorry.
How dare?
No, it's not Latin.
Spanish adjacent.
Just because they speak Spanish. There you go.
There's a lot of Spanish in the song.
Spanish than a lot of the Latin songs do. I will give it.
There's a lot of Spanish in the song, yeah.
More Spanish than English.
I do like it.
I'm okay with
I
it.
like it. It's different.
It was a good idea, which is why I'm like scared for another one because I'm just like the idea of like we didn't print enough albums. Yeah. This was really good.
I'm hoping that this just proves that, like, oh shit, we
can put actual money into them and they will be good. Yeah,
this and it might pay off this time.
Right.
But the problem I also have is that a lot of these members are older. Because they've already had a full career with another group.
They're old, but they're not like super old. They're not as old as you would think that they would be.
But like,
they're not like the UNVS of last year.
We're not even that old.
Went into the military.
Like their oldest member is from 95, so like they're not that old. Yeah,
so
but
they have a couple.
They're old for debut age, like definitely, but
sure.
they're not like old. Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
My problem is I like both of them a lot. I think where I am with Just B is that they're kind of in the same camp that like ATEEZ is in, where like half of their music is way too far on the noise side for me.
Right.
But their other music is I enjoy a lot. So because it's
they have a lot of high vocalists as well, which usually tends to be like, oh, we should make a lot of softer sounds because they would be really good.
I think I think they would make like very good like more vocal focused songs. Yeah. I think they'd be really good. Sure. I think it has to do with the fact that Bang Young-gook produced the album. It has a big thing to do with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Bang Young-gook. This is very much his like.
I do hear that after hearing that like Bang Young-gook produced the album, and I was like, I guess I hear the BAP influence here.
I mean, honestly, but that's the thing of it. It's like who's doing BAP? We've lost BAP. Who's doing BAP anymore? That's what I will give a lot of these groups. Like, even taking out Omega X and Just B, a lot of these groups are starting to go into their niches pretty early. Mm-hmm. Where I'm like, I mean, no one's doing it. I guess, like, it has an audience for the people that like that. That's not me, but someone does.
Mm-hmm. Either way, so soon, and these two groups are already like, I like them enough to buy their album. And that's why I'm like, I want to get the Omega one. Just for the fact that I have no idea what's next, and if it's bad,
you'll have the good one.
At least you'll have
I'll have the
you'll
good
have
one.
Memories of the good times.
Either way, like if it's good, I'll be like, man, I wish I had the other one too. Now I'm fully invested. Just B, I feel like I was happily invested before they even debuted.
Look,
so
Dan,
I was like, at this point,
I'm gonna quote you, at least in spirit, saying, "Gung Yu, anything you release, I will buy every version."
I'm pretty sure I did say
you
that.
Said that.
I think that is a direct quote.
That's a direct Dan quote.
At least in spirit, it's a quote.
Like whatever, whatever group you in. I will immediately.
It wasn't a lie.
That's not
it's not a lie.
You're here now. I'm just saying, Dan. Like you've said this. This is just you fulfilling your promise.
I'm just so happy that it like ended up so soon.
Good?
I guess is my thing. Soon and good.
I'm happy.
The two things.
I'm shocked. I mean, maybe later this year because we have K and EJ for later. I'm shocked not more of the Island Kids haven't debuted.
We shall see. Yeah,
we're gonna start getting them real soon. I think
2021 boy group second part of the year.
I think it's like it's been an appropriate amount of time now since Island that I think.
I mean, the thing is just that they all
we're
have to
start seeing him
companies.
for sure.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, Hanbin, the biggest, he just joined which company?
Who? Sorry.
Hanbin.
Oh, Hanbin. Yeah, Hanbin. I feel like is gonna go solo.
He just joined a big company. I just don't remember what it was.
Oh, I don't remember. Oh.
I'll look it up real quick.
But yeah, because we have K and EJ joining the Japanese not big hit, high labels.
Oh, wait, hang on. That's the wrong hive.
Did you look up the...
Look up BI?
Did you look up BI?
Yeah, I did. Oh, he joined Yehua.
Oh!
Yes!
Great.
Yes! What?
He's a Vietnamese actor.
2022.
Oh, he's gonna be on Chuang 2020. No, he's gonna be on Chuang 2023. Because next year has to be,
Very
girls.
well. He's gonna be on Chuang 2023.
Yep, there you go. Now you know. And he's gonna be the center and debut that way.
That's but he's just gonna be a C-pop, and we gotta have to teach Dan how to get into C-pop.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that. Alright.
Dan, this is what C-pop is.
No thanks.
I'm good.
We'll see. I feel like we'll have a few more 1-9 under 19 groups to come out later.
Yeah, there's
year.
a lot of under 19.
Is there any X1?
There's one. Oh, there's one. There's one residual person left from X1 who hasn't debuted in a group yet.
Or wasn't already in a group before.
He is in brand new. Yes, he's in brand new music, and brand new music says they're planning to debut him this year in a group. And they might dissolve BDC into that group too. So
even though BDC, a group that didn't debut this year, but I will say had a good album this year. It was actually quite good. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Poor BDC.
That was also in the 30th too, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I think it was, and that was on the same day. Yeah.
That was such a good day.
Yeah.
I like BDC. I like it more than Brand New Music's other boy group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are my favorite of Brand New Music's boy group, so.
Or Brand New Music's groups generally.
I guess generally Brand New Music, yeah.
Yeah, they're the best thing Brand New Music has right now.
Mm-hmm.
Which is sad, because they get nothing.
They do. I barely remember them debuting because they were just forgotten about entirely.
I feel so bad for them.
Yeah. They debuted in 2019, and I'm like, where did they go? Mm-hmm. So, as in knee slapper fashion, we have ranked all of them because this is what we do every time.
Also, do you want to talk about the fun fact that we came first?
We got two fun facts. So, fun fact: 2 idols using the stage name Kevin debuted this year. So now we have
5 Kevins.
5 Kevins in K-pop.
Mind you, this will be the first time that Kevin has been used as a stage name and not someone's real name.
Because all of the
How many of these are real names?
3. All of the former Kevins are their real names.
Because we have T1419 Kevin and Omega X Kevin, who are both stage name Kevins. But the former UKISS member, the boys, and the winner of Superstar K, all their real name is Kevin, because they're from the US.
They're all American, yeah. Well, Kevin, Canadian, but
the boys Kevin is Canadian.
Similar, yeah.
But they're all North American, so their real name is Kevin.
Mm-hmm. And 2 people this year decided we needed to use Kevin as a stage name. Yes.
We have 5 Kevins. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
That's so many Kevins.
We also have 5 members of 1-9 now debuted into groups. Because 1 is in Cipher, 1's in Omega X, 1 is in Just B, and 2 are in We I. So we're getting close, yeah, to re-debuting all of them.
And none of them went solo.
Which is a shame. I did, yeah, which is also, I'm happy for. I don't think I'd want to see.
I don't think 1-9 was big enough for them to be able to catapult that into solos.
No.
I don't even think X1 was big enough for them to catapult that into solos.
Because
Woods already had a
Woods. Yeah, Woods was already a solo career.
Woods already had a solo career and a group career and is part of Yehua Entertainment. I think he's fine.
Yeah.
And then, the 2 the Uptension members, the only one really who got a solo career out of that, but, he also was still previously in a group. But everyone else and from X1 is in a group, so.
Just debuted in a group.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so now we've ranked them. Shall we start from 12 or from 1?
Well, yeah, let's start from 12. 12 and go to 1.
So 12 is Epex.
Mm-hmm.
Not good.
Fair.
Not good.
We'll see for the second
Again,
one.
again.
It'll decide. Hold on. It'll either be 12 or it'll be 6. It won't.
It will not be way up
gonna,
at the top. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not. They're not gonna reach like top 5 category. I'm gonna tell you that.
Just their B-sides are better than that title track.
But
I'll
still.
give them that.
And also the fact that.
But it's still not. I like
the
company enough, I guess.
Look,
I don't know. We have a love-hate relationship.
If last year's video of us talking about the boy groups from last year has proven anything, we can have very, very varying opinions.
We put put Ghost 9 in like second to last place. Yeah.
And now they're like top 6.
They're like top half now, yeah.
That's improved.
That's great improvement
we'll
for
see.
them.
Mm-hmm.
Second, we have WoW.
Which
Wizards
one?
WoW.
Wizards WoW.
Yeah, confused concept. Wow.
Yes.
Worst WoW.
Fair enough. Yeah, I would have put them last, but that's just because I don't see
like
them
being
going
yelled
anywhere.
The thing is I had expectations
That's
for EPEX to be like something, and
Better.
like we're just very bad.
Again, EPEX is from one of the bigger companies here, and I don't like being
They should be
that.
better than they currently are. Yeah.
Yep. And then at 10 we have NTX. Oof.
Also, don't know what's gonna.
Don't know
happen
what's
to
going
them.
on with them. Yeah.
It's just an oof from me.
Big oof for
Yeah.
them.
Then we have
mistake.
Cypher. Rain, please stop.
I
Rain,
don't know
please
what
get
Rain is
your
doing.
shit together, Rain.
Rain, please stop. At 8 we have more through the failures of others, not so much their own merit. T1419 or T4T19 or T1419.
Who knows?
Or T numbers.
T
as
numbers.
you
T
call them.
numbers, whoever, whatever you call them, it's fine.
One of those has to be correct. One of those, if it's a different
One of those
way,
options is correct.
If it's a different way, I can't even imagine.
Why have
Why
that
have
name?
Yeah,
this
like,
name
what
if
is
I'm
this
supposed
name?
to-
What if they're just teenagers in? That's what they're called.
But
They
the
introduce them.
teenager?
We're teenagers in
But
Korean.
like the teenagers is the numbers 1, 4, 1, and 9.
I don't know. It doesn't have to
Like
make
how-
any sense. I'm just. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Don't name it that. Thanks.
7, we have better WoW. I actually like them, but I'm scared we're never gonna see them again.
Exactly, yes.
6, we have Kingdom.
We'll see
We'll see what happens.
They have
We'll
a
see.
cool concept.
Again,
Let's see
they're
if it's
a
enough
group
to
where I
carry
feel
them.
like they could stay here. I don't know how much higher they could go, or they could plummet.
I
Depending
feel
on
like
what happens.
yeah, that's true.
We'll
find
5,
out.
we have Blitzers. Quite good, but
Mhm.
again, who knows where they're going.
No, who knows?
4, we have Mirai. I like them.
No idea.
I
What
like
happens?
them.
I
They're
feel
fine.
like
So
we'll
many
see what
of
happens
these
if they
are
get
a
something.
let's see what happens.
A lot of these are very
Last
dependent
year,
on the companies.
That's the difference between now and last year. Last year, they're all pretty distinguished companies. You're just like, they're going to get at least a second
Oh,
company,
half of these
even if
groups
it's-
are like, we don't even know what's going to happen because the company could fall apart between now
The
and the
company
next
could
comeback.
fold
Yeah.
within like a week. We don't know.
Yeah.
They could be bought out by High B. Who knows?
No.
Like, it happens.
I don't.
Oh, so
think
update on
T.
update on T1419. I looked up the Hangul for their name, and
Uh-huh.
it is 1419 in Korean. Like that's how it's like letter T,
Okay.
and then it's the numbers 1419 in Korean.
Okay, so
yeah.
it is T1419 technically.
Yes.
Cool.
There you go. Update.
I
Thank
was
you.
saying it correctly for the first time.
Yes.
One at a time.
One of the ways.
It's.
Then-
I will say the name does sound a lot better when you say it in Korean than it does in English.
Probably.
Yeah.
Then at 3 we have T01, 201, 2, whatever.
Still
Two.
the
this
same
barely
group.
Counts. This
Barely counts.
Barely counts.
We liked them before.
them
I think
before.
What did we put them last year?
They're in like top
were top
5 or something.
5-ish.
I don't know.
think
Lucas
Lucas
has them
forced
top
it.
1. Well,
Yeah.
I think.
No, Lucas has them top 2 because we had Lucy top 1.
Because Lucy, yeah.
We had Lucy and Hyphen and TO1/2 were our.
And that was that were the options
Yeah.
we had for Rookie Boy Group of the Year, so that was really
Yeah.
the big ones. But yeah, they were
So
fine.
the fact that they're fine,
still
they
there.
still are good.
They're
still
the
the
same.
third
They're
best-
doing.
they're still-
They're the same group.
They're still the 3rd best debut group of the year. Still.
It's funny.
It's like
Still.
and it's like we I feel like we're docking them some because we feel like they barely count, but they're like everyone else here is just like
Yeah,
not
like,
even good
Alright.
enough.
honestly, I am treating them as I'm judging them more harshly,
Yes.
but also the fact of, like, everyone else was so bad that I'm like, well, they gotta go here. Even
they're still
them at
third,
a different
yeah.
scale. Even at that other scale, they're higher than these other groups.
Yep.
And then at 2, we have Just B, and number 1 is Omega X. We've talked at length about how great both of these groups are.
Yeah.
Only 2 groups where I have faith that I'm going to get more like Just B, I have faith I'll get more comebacks from.
I
Omega
feel like
X
they were both successful now. I feel like Just B is the most, like, it seems like it's completely set up for, like,
a career.
A career.
Yes.
Omega X seems like they were surprised at the reception, and now they're swinging.
They're gonna
like,
come,
Like,
we gotta do something, and I hope it's just as good. And I hope they like not like we did it, guys. We gave you one last good song.
Yeah,
right
that'd be terrible.
Look, in terms of
that's terrible.
a career,
whoever produced it needs to do it again.
Yes,
like
that
he
person
nailed
was
it.
good.
Yes.
I love that person. I don't know who it was.
You did
but
really
they did
good.
great.
That's how you make a dance track without it being annoying. How about
yes,
that?
yes.
That's the thing here, where I'm just like, in terms of groups that I am confident will have a career, it's Just B, it's TL1, I'm slightly on the fence about
T1 Numbers.
T1 Numbers is going to have a career, Epex is going to have a career, and I think Cipher has enough money behind it that they're going to keep going. And Omega X, because of the reception, I feel like we're at least going to get another.
We're going to get
3
something from
gonna,
them, yeah.
I don't know what we'll do.
I think that will be
long-term.
the give and tell. Once we get a second one, that's what will be like
that'll-
Epex and all those other ones are definitely just having like they're already when you name your thing part 1
Not
and T
necessarily,
Numbers
but
has
I think just the C9 aspect of it all, I think we're going to get more from them.
We're going to get
When you
something
get
there, yeah.
And I feel like Mirai probably. Like,
Mirai will also
Mirai,
give us
I
something.
hope
Groups
they'll
like
eventually get their
Blitzers,
stuff
WoW,
together.
NTX, other WoW, and that's I'm shaky on, and then Kingdom.
Kingdom is
Kingdom has already had a comeback,
they're not spending all their money on fancy costumes and sets that they're going to be like,
we're going to run out of money.
wait,
They're
hang
running out
on, we can't do
Because I
this
feel
anymore.
like every group has at least the first year planned. Post that,
Right.
I don't know what we're doing.
That's what
So,
I'm
really,
afraid of
with
as well.
that's what I'm worried with Kingdom. But honestly, last year we said the same thing about half of those groups, and they're all still here,
They are.
except for UNVS.
UNVS is taking a military break. But
They're taking a military break.
Because they're old.
They are old. That's why I like them. I think.
Yeah,
They,
I mean, literally, we said the
have a
same
good
thing
sound.
last year, and everyone
But they did
is
have,
still
like-
here.
Yes.
Even Checkmate is
they
still
did do,
trucking
like,
along.
Checkmate is
Yeah,
still
I don't
here,
know.
technically,
Checkmate's
yeah.
still here. So, like,
They
really,
swapped around, but they're still around.
really, who knows? We could be talking about these groups next year. God, if we have to do an update on this. Hopefully the update will be as surprising as this year's update, where we're like, I'm shocked that they're good.
Yes, hopefully.
I mean, it really, like, very few groups I'm always, like, I've been sold on debut. Like, that's just the way it is. Because you're just like, I think it was, like, CIX, it literally took me there
Like,
Fourth.
several years. Multiple years.
before I was fully convinced. Even with TXT, like, I have liked every single song they've
And
put
you're
out.
still not convinced. You threw them in
But
the
I'm
garbage.
still not
Watch that
convinced.
short, guys.
we're
It's
not
hilarious.
we're not bringing that up again.
Threw
Okay?
them in the garbage and
In the
stabbed me in
garbage.
the back.
How many groups like, I don't know, like Everglow was another one, was like, how many before I was like, okay, they're good enough. I think it
I
was
like
Dum
that,
Dum
but
and-
also Omega X from day one.
We got
Yeah,
in on
that's
the
the
ground
thing.
floor for
Like,
Omega X.
Day one, I was like, you know what? I could just listen to this album over and over again. And that's pretty much what I did. I think it was like a solid. After that, it was like this last week was just Omega X just be like in a routine over each other. It was pretty great. I liked it.
It's overall,
I like
it's
them
been
both.
very.
It's been a
The
weird
ending,
year.
like
All
it
of which
started off
made my
so
top.
bad,
Bad.
and yet
So
it
bad.
ended, so well.
And
It's so hard, yeah.
And I don't-
especially when it's like the recent stuff that you like too. It's
Right.
like, is it just that good, or is
No.
it because I've heard
No,
it
I think
recently?
it's
No,
just
I
'cause
think
it's
I
that
genuinely
good.
like it
Because
that much.
Yeah.
Because we also did the re-listen. Because Kayla and I, 3 weeks ago at this point, 2 weeks ago, we did the full listen for the boy group update from last
yes.
year.
Mhm.
We
And
did.
I listened to a bunch of those debuts, and they're fine. But like, you look at Just B and Omega X, and I think they're as good, if not better, than a lot of the debut songs from last year. They would rank very. Like,
They're the only two
they're the
groups that I
only-
could even compare to the groups from last year. Like,
exactly. The groups from last year were unbelievably better. Like, unbelievably good. It was an unbelievably good year for boy group debuts that year. And they would rank very highly there. But just B and Omega X would rank very highly there, even compared to there. It's
like, I'm just thinking, if I take, like, Elast, because Elast is on the bottom half of our group. Like, Elast probably in, like, 4th or 5th, like, this year.
Honestly, I honestly feel like they're 4th, really.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because DKB was Sorry Mama.
Sorry Mama.
Sorry Mama.
Yeah.
Sorry Mama.
Even with Sorry Mama.
But then still came
out.
They
would also be, like, 3rd, like,
great.
4th. Like, in the 3rd or 5th. Yeah.
Mama.
Yeah.
And then what was their Work Hard?
Work Hard.
And then
was
Still.
And then I really liked All In. Yeah. It was really good. I like Still and I like All In. Those two are fantastic. It's like every other song.
But like even like good. Take MCND with Ice Age.
Oh, MCND wins this year.
That's the biggest.
Yeah.
They do
win. Never mind,
I have to say they
finally
win this
clicked.
year.
They win. They do win.
They finally clicked with me. When I say clicked, I mean
only the debut song. Take only Ice Age.
True. I would throw Omega X 10 places above Ice Age anyway, but like it's still better.
Still like,
yeah.
I
feel like they wouldn't beat Flowering, and they'd beat Magnolia.
Yes, they would beat Magnolia.
Shoo Magnolia. Magnolia.
We don't talk about Magnolia.
Now, Son of Beast is the debut song.
Oh yeah, sorry, forgot.
Of course.
I forgot. No.
But like, really, the only songs I would put above this is like Omega. Take our number 1 song here. Where would it? I think it doesn't do Flowering. It doesn't. No. I don't. For me, it doesn't beat. Given and Taken so weird.
Given and Taken is too.
Given and Taken is not.
I've listened to it. It's still like one of my most played songs of all time.
For me, it's up. My 3rd favorite that year was Ice Age, and it's back and forth for me. For my personal thing, it might be 3rd or 4th.
Yeah,
I'd have to think about it. Because it's not on that list.
I'm trying to think of
comparing
the few songs that even made it.
I think I put Omega X like in 8th, like 7th or 8th in the debuts of last year because I would put both. I have Lucy, We I Drippin', 2 and Hypin' and P1 Harmony. And CD. I'll put all of them above.
Oh
that.
yeah, I forgot P1 Harmony. Yeah, no. They go like 5th for me because I like them more than I like. I would Omega X.
Yeah, see,
I would put Lucy and Hypin', MCND, P1 Harmony, and I don't know if I'd put We I above or below them.
God, even Treasure's debut is like a little bit iffy for me because I liked that. It's the one that I like from them.
True,
so like,
but I don't like YG. I have a personal vendetta against YG, the man and the company.
And that's where I like Omega X more than all those.
Mm-hmm.
I
would put Lucy and I'd put In Hypin', and then I'd honestly probably put Omega X because I didn't care for MCND's debut. I like their 3rd song.
But like, if I even compare the end of the take out Gravity, just doing like Ghost 9 and Elast, because Gravity we don't talk about. Ghost 9 and Elast.
Right.
In this list, they rank so highly.
So high.
In this list, they rank
so high.
Which
where
is
they
funny.
rank the lowest.
Elast is 3rd if Elast debuts this year.
Elast is 3rd on this list, which is insane.
Insane.
I don't know.
It's like shocking how different it is this year in comparison. But I guess it makes sense because we've talked about how all of the big companies released songs groups last year, so now there's none left for this year.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We'll see what happens to these groups. Honestly, I hope for good things.
Again, I honestly think that like more of these groups are gonna have careers than we expect because.
Yeah,
again,
for sure.
There's a lot
the
of
market is clearly available, which is why they're debuting
groups
still.
that are able to get through like various years. And who knows? Maybe we're looking at the next like group that has like one song blow them up to be like massively popular.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It could be one of them. We
could have a Brave Girls on our.
Could have a Brave Girl.
Just. Not happening. Sorry, guys.
Brave Brothers makes good songs for everyone but their own groups. Just saying.
Rip their own groups.
Anything else?
I think that's it. We've gone on long. We've rambled long enough, I think.
We have. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We are available on all major podcasting platforms like Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Pocket Cast and all sorts of places like that. And if you're listening to us there, we also have a YouTube channel where we post visual elements to some of our episodes. Because they kind of work better with that, and we also post a lot of other fun clip videos. We post one a week, and those are fun too. And we also have a Twitter and an Instagram account that are linked in the descriptions of every episode. So yes, this has been 2021 Boy Groups Part 1. We will see you at the end of the year for Part 2, with however many boy groups debut between now and the end of the year.
Oh god, I just
and
remember
we will give another update
6
then.
months.
Has been 6 months.
It's only 6. We have 12 more boy groups that we're probably gonna get.
Well, we'll see who even debuts, because I don't think we have any idea of groups that are even coming.
Well,
I
nothing's
feel like
gonna happen for the
last
next
year
month.
at 6 months, we also knew that there was going to be quite a few
That's
more.
right.
Like, we
true,
had
but also the
names
fact that
and
like nothing's gonna happen for the
announcements.
next month and a half because it's the Olympics.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then, like, no one
forget
is gonna
about
debut
that.
in December, so...
Well, no, because that's when both ATs and the boys debuted their respective years, so we might...
But we wouldn't count them for this year.
No, we're doing mama rules now. December's
Yeah.
the cutoff.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.